We're here with the Silverstone Mining, ticker SVRS on the TSX Venture Exchange. The company's working hard to bring the La Parrilla mine complex back into production. We caught up with CEO Greg McKenzie to get an update and hear what his thoughts are on the current move in the silver price, among other things. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning, Bjorn. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. Well, Greg, the first quarter has come to close, and we think that's a good time to get an update as regards Silverstone Mining. Before we get into that, please shortly remind us of what the company has achieved in the last 12 months.
Okay, thank you, Bjorn. As many people will remember, we completed the acquisition of La Parrilla in August of 2023, which has become our second asset. Our first asset, the San Diego project, was a 215 million ounce deposit that we were drilling for a couple of years, and we had hit a market cap of almost $100 million with San Diego. And then we wanted to get a second project that could generate cash flow while we continue to advance. And so we were able to acquire La Parrilla. La Parrilla was First Majestic's very first asset, and they put that into production. They produced 34 million ounces from La Parrilla. It was very, very profitable, and they were able to use that project to build their business and acquire other mines, and a well over $2 billion company today. So we acquired La Parrilla last August. We did an initial resource estimate with SRK, and we closed the financing of $7 million at 20 cents, and we commenced drilling immediately.
Okay.
Then we went on to deploy that money on the drill program. We've drilled over 7,000 meters so far. We've had several news releases out on our drilling, two in November of last year, one in December of last year. Then we had two more in January of this year, and another one in February of this year. And the results have been very good. The highlight of the drill program is the Corpo 460 zone, where we intersected 1,810 grams over 14.6 meters. And then 74 meters below that, we intersected 911 grams over 13 meters. And the reason why that's important is because our sulfide cutoff grade is 125 grams per ton. So anything above 125 grams per ton makes us money. And we've had multiple hits all throughout the various areas that we've been drilling that are well above 125 grams. So we're very pleased with the drilling, and there will be more drilling to come.
Okay, well, certainly looking forward to that, especially in the current silver price environment. That would be interesting. So let's talk about the future then. You already said it's more drilling is to come, but what other steps are there to get you closer to the planned production date for La Parrilla, which is in 2025, if I remember correctly?
Correct. So when we intend to be in production by the end of June of 2025. And in order to set that up, we had planned 17,000 meters of drilling. We've already done over 7, as I mentioned. So there'll be more drilling in 2024. And 2024 will culminate in technical studies, a new mine plan, basically setting up the restart in 2025. And so that's really what shareholders have to look forward to in 2024. More drilling, technical studies at the end of the year, and then going into 2025, restart activities.
Okay. So we're certainly hoping that will come about as planned. You never know in the mining industry, but so far I think you're in the time frame we were planning for. Now all this costs money. but you were able to close financing just a couple of days ago, really. And I think the interest was so high that you had to upsize it really substantially.
That's right, Bjorn. We initially went out to just raise a little bit of money because our share price we felt deserved to be at least double where it was, and so we launched the $2 million financing at 11 cents, and we ended up with such high demand that we upsized it to 3 million, and then we had to further upsize it to 6.1 million. And one of our large shareholders, Eric Sprott, came in and he participated. We're very pleased with that endorsement and pleased to have his participation. Um, and so we closed on $6.1 million last week. And we really could have done a lot more. That there was demand and interest to do $10 million. But we had to cut it off at 6.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. As you alluded to, you would have liked your share price to be substantially higher, or before doing financing and doing more even bigger financing. Of course, I think the interest or the strong interest isn't only a function of the great project you have, but also because the price environment, gold price and silver price environment has well, lightened up quite substantially over the last couple of weeks and months, let's say. So what are your thoughts on that? Can you give us an idea of what this means for the company now in terms of sentiment and in the future for perhaps once you start production, what kind of prices are you going or thinking about?
Well, we've been talking about a secular upswing in silver prices for many reasons. Principal among them is the store of value fundamental for silver, as well as increased use in photovoltaics and high-end electronics, electric vehicles, and we see the market in solar panels continuing to grow. India is talking about putting in very large solar panel electricity generating farms, and we see the continued dominance in China and the rest of the world coming to the realization that they need more solar installed. So and that requires a lot of silver. And so we've been talking about this for a long time, and among the other silver companies feeling like we're all no one is listening to us, but finally we see that silver's starting to move. You can see that the gold silver ratio is still extraordinarily high. In my presentations, I always show a chart, and that's showed that essentially the gold silver ratio has been around 90 up to 100, and every time it's at that level, when it reverts to a mean, you can see a dramatic increase in the price of silver. And so we think part of that's happening now. And you could very well see silver prices well into the 30s, and some people are predicting even 40 and 50 by the end of the year. So that certainly brings more interest into the space. But one of the reasons that we liked why we liked La Paria was that it was always profitable. And so our expectation is to put it into production at the 3 million ounce per year level. And at these kind of silver prices, it will generate a lot of cash flow, like well north of the 20 to 25 million that we've always been talking about.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting, and let's hope it comes about. But as you said, even at lower silver prices, it will be profitable. So I think I could summarize it almost myself, that this is a great time to take a closer look at silver storm mining because you're getting going, you're making progress, and the silver price is playing along.
And remember that we have this, spectacular mineral resource at San Diego that has over 200 million ounces of silver equivalent. Um, that project on its own, we had 100 million market cap on that project alone. And even today, with the move in our stock price, we're still below $100 million in market cap, and now we have two assets. One that's going into production will produce significant cash flow, and we still have the San Diego, which is a very big resource, and one day we believe that it could be a 10 to 15 million ounce producer on its own.
Okay, well, that's certainly a good closing statement, I think, and we wish you best of luck, and of course, because we are shareholders for us too. So thank you very much.
All right, well, great to see you, and appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.